Hey, Gene Galin here with the Chatham Journal. It's Friday afternoon, and we found an interesting thing that you can do right here in Chatham County, axe throwing. So we're going to check out this place, Top That Axe. We're going to go in and talk to Jim and get an idea of what it means to do axe throwing here in Pittsboro. We are inside, and I'm talking to Jim Wheeler. That's Jem. We'll talk about how he came up with that nickname later on, but we're standing, you've got what, 4 bays here?
Yes, we got 4 throwing lanes, and they all have a safety divider.
Okay, so this is the safety. So the safety dividers so that somebody doesn't throw at someone else at the.
There you go.
In the other case. I know the first question people want to have an answer to is why did you decide to do this?
We looked at different business opportunities, and me and my wife, we looked at axe throwing as one of the fastest growing sports in America, and we thought Pittsburgh, we love the community, and thought it'd be something to bring to the people around here to have fun.
Now, is axe throwing a competitive sport?
It is. It's actually, they hold the national tournaments on ESPN now. We follow the World Axe Throwing League rules and regulations, so people can actually work their way through a tournament if they want to.
Okay, what are some of those rules and regulations?
Mainly the size of the axe, the distance to the target, the size of the target. They all have to meet their criteria in order to qualify for a tournament.
So what we're looking at here would qualify as appropriate for a tournament?
Yes.
Okay, so how big is that target? I'm going to zoom in a little bit and fill it up.
That target is 3 feet in diameter, and it is 36 inches center off the floor, and you have to be 12 feet from the center target. That particular target is a fun target. The league target, they changed the centerpiece to about the size of a 50-cent piece for the bullseye.
All right.
So we use the larger one for fun.
So this is a fun target.
Correct.
So when you say a 50-cent piece, I don't know if I've ever seen a 50-cent piece. What size are we talking about? Oh, that's the size.
We're about the size of a blue dot, so they put that here, and the scoring would be 1, 2, 3, 4, and on this one, it skips to 6. With the tournament one, you actually have a 5 ring here, and in the center's the target.
All right, so this size would be inside of this.
Correct.
Red area. Now, is it actually a blue dot within a red dot, or is it just?
No, it would just be a red dot, and the rest of this would be not marked. These blue dots are for kill shots. These are put in play for you to get extra points. You get 2 kill shots in a round, and a round is 10 throws. So you have to call your kill shot, and you get 8 points if you hit a kill shot when you call it.
Well, when you say call a kill shot, what exactly do you mean?
Before you take your axe throw, you got to let know the person you're competing against that you are attempting a kill shot. They have to acknowledge that you're throwing a kill shot.
All right. So if, Jem, you decide that you're going for a kill shot and you're aiming for this one, if you hit it, you get 8 points.
And if you miss it, you get 0, regardless of where else you hit on the target.
All right. So if I happen to miss this, but I hit the center, I'm still going to get 0 because I didn't go for my kill shot.
Correct. Because you call it a kill shot, it's all or nothing shot.
How often do people go for a kill shot?
In tournament play, not too often. In fun play, more often.
Okay. So if I were to come in here, we'll talk about the different offerings you do have here. If I were to come in here, do I keep on throwing for a set amount of time? Do I get 10 throws? Or let's say you and I show up. We want to compete. We want to have some fun here in Pittsboro. We don't want to hurt anybody. We sit up here. What's the process if you and I sign up to do this?
Well, typically, each person you rent for an hour, 2 hours is common. We have a 1 hour rate and a special for a 2 hour rate.
Okay.
And that can be up to 6 people per lane coming. And then when you play, typically for about the first 15 minutes is practice. And then we have some scoring sheets that where you play. It's like bowling. You alternate throws, like everybody throws once, then everybody throws twice. You get a total of 10 throws. Whoever has the highest score wins, and then it's the best out of 3. So you'll have basically 30 throws in a competition.
All right. So you're setting your time. You're setting your use by time. However, you're competing as if it's a regular tournament event.
Correct.
10 throws. Okay. Bowling, you have different size bowling balls. Do you have different size axes?
Correct. We have 2. We have a wood-handled axe and we have a plastic-handled axe. There's about 6 ounces difference. The plastic one's a little bit lighter, but both of them have the same World Axe Throwing League tournament top.
So, okay, so this is the wood handle.
Correct.
And you're saying those are exactly the same throwing tops.
Correct.
Okay. What do most people prefer? Do they prefer the wood, or do they prefer the plastic, or is it more of a personal choice?
It's more of a personal choice. This is a little bit heavier, so it's a little bit stronger. Most people will use the wood handle. If younger people or people not wanting the heavier one, they'll throw the lighter one. But sometimes it's a personal choice. Some people that are really strong can do better with the plastic one. It's
Okay.
just a matter what they're comfortable with.
So there's really not a particular advantage to one or the other, but it's more of a individual choice as to which one works best for you.
Correct.
All right, great. I got you standing there. Let's talk about safety. You and I come in. It's the two of us. We've got the scoring sheet here. We'll talk about that a little bit. If you throw the axe first, what's the process? You got to stay behind that red line. Is that correct?
First we make sure everybody has safety shoes on.
All right, hold on. You mentioned safety shoes. What are safety shoes?
Safety shoes are closed-toe shoes.
Okay, so no flip-flops.
No flip-flops.
But you did tell me when I came in that if you came in flip-flops, you do have closed-toed shoes.
Correct.
So, again, do not come with closed-toed shoes. And I don't know, is this like a fashion type of shoe?
Yeah, that's basically a garden shoe, but it does create protection for the toes. So
Okay.
that way if someone dropped an axe, it wouldn't go right to the skin.
Yeah, we don't want to lose any toes because also the hospital's down the road. But anyway, all right, so for safety reasons, closed-toed shoes. The other thing is you have an age requirement.
10 and up.
10 and up, all right.
Correct.
Now, if I come in, I assume if I come in as a 10-year-old, I need to have an adult with me.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, anything under 18, you need to have someone 18 or older to supervise you.
Got you. So again, that anything else that we need to cover from a safety perspective?
You do have to sign a release waiver
Okay.
to participate, and we have the axes here. If you want to bring your own axe, you got to coordinate with me prior.
All right. I'll take a picture of that and we'll post that at the end of this video. So pretty much use the axes that you supply. If you want to bring do you have people that come with their own axes?
They do.
Okay.
We just have to approve the type because there are some that, honestly, they'll just tear these targets up.
Okay.
With very, very thin blades, and we can't allow those.
Gotcha. All right. Give us a demo. Which come on, Jim, you got to demo your product. Which do you prefer, wood or plastic?
I throw with the wood.
All right.
A little bit heavier. And then my wife, she prefers the plastic. But she beats me most of the time, but she couldn't make it here today. But there's basically 3 ways to throw.
Are you just saying that to be nice to her?
No, I'm telling the truth.
Okay. All right.
But here you have a one-handed throw. You can have a two-handed throw over the shoulder, or you can have a two-handed throw over the head. I always throw one-handed. Basically, you do have to stay behind the safety line.
All right.
And what you want to do is keep your elbow up. And when you throw, you don't want to drop your elbow. If you drop your elbow, you see all the marks at the bottom of the target.
Right. That you don't want
That's
to do
people throwing down. So it's not like chopping wood like this. Most people will take a step and lunge and throw. That's how I do it.
Right.
Some people will throw flat-footed, whatever's comfortable for you. The main thing is if the axe does start to slide back towards you, you don't want to stop the axe. You just want to let it stop on its own. Just step to the side, and it will stop on its own.
Wait. When you say it slides back towards you, what do you mean?
Sometimes people, they throw too hard, and when it hits the target, it drops to the floor, and it's going to slide back towards the
okay.
thrower.
Gotcha.
Most of the time, it's going to stay on the mat, but if it does come this far back, you don't want to stop it. You want to let it slide.
Okay. You mentioned if people throw it too hard. Do some people come in here thinking that, gosh, the harder I throw it, the better chance I have of hitting the middle?
Unfortunately, yes.
Okay.
Actually, the speed of an axe throw is kind of a moderate speed. It's not a baseball fast pitch. Some people, when they're not sticking, they think, well, if I throw harder, it'll stick. It's all in the technique. So we do ask people to throw it too hard to slow it down because it could come back at them, and we don't want that to happen. And 2, it's not a good axe throw.
Gotcha. So if you're throwing too hard, you're probably not going to be coming out with the highest score.
There you go.
Okay, and the goal is to do the highest score you can. Okay, go ahead and show us and this. Jim,
this is on camera, right?
Yes, this better stick.
Yeah.
Because we're not doing this over. All right. Well, no, we're going to do it. We're going to do this until. How often do you have to replace that board?
It depends on the type of throwers. Typically, I would say we try to, as you can see, they're separated. There's 5 boards to a target. So mostly we have to replace the center one more often. But But I would say that a board will last at least probably about 2 or 3 weeks.
Is there any kind of specific wood you use for the board?
Yes, we use cottonwood, which is not easy to find in North Carolina. In fact, we get this from Chicago, Illinois.
You have to get wood all the way from Chicago, Illinois for your axe throw.
Right. You can use some North Carolina pine, but that's a little thicker, a little bit harder to stick. The World Axe Throwing League recommends cottonwood, so we found a company in Chicago that cuts axe throwing boards to regulation, and right now that's our source.
Now, you mentioned the importance of it sticking. Is that because if it doesn't stick, you don't get a point, or is
That is correct.
it has to stick for you to get scored?
It has to stick until you remove it. So if it sticks and you sit here talk to someone and it falls out, it doesn't count.
All right. I'm not going to have you throw again, but let me wait a second here. So if I'm in the next bay, I've got this safety metal, so it's not coming through there. All right, let's have you go ahead and do it, and let's see if it sticks. All right, now, let me come on over there. Don't pull it out yet. So it has stuck. So you will get points for that. Now, it has stuck on the black line. So how many points are you going to get for that?
That is 3. It broke the tan, so as it breaks the tan in each circle, you get that point. So both sides of the axe have to break the plane, so that's a 3.
All right. And you would get to do, now, the first time you threw, since it didn't stick, that would have counted as a turn and you would have gotten 0.
Correct.
This is your second one and it's stuck in this one, you got a 3.
Correct.
All right, let's do this one more time. We're not going to do a whole 10, but we've got one that didn't stick, we got one that got a 3. And we may land up doing another one for the kill shot, but let's go for that center again. Oh, that one didn't stick. Now, can you tell when you released it if it was a good release, or is it just...
Typically you practice for about 15 minutes so you can kind of you want to know your spot on the floor.
Okay.
As you're sticking or not sticking, you need to adjust where you start and stop. That's why you practice a little bit, and also you just want to get your rhythm going, keeping your elbow up. So a lot of times when I come in, if I'm going to play in the league or play in a tournament, you do want to warm up some to make sure you get all your, all your spacing correct.
All right, so someone might decide, hey, I need to be right up here, and then someone might decide, I need to be where you're standing at right now.
Right, and that's what we do when people come in that's never thrown before. We try to coach them and kind of watch what's happening. Depending on how the blade's hitting the board, we can tell them, hey, you need to back up a little bit, or you need to choke up on the axe a little bit, or choke down. Sometimes people grab it way up here, and that's going to be a really bad throw. So we do work with everyone that comes in and try to coach them to get where they can start sticking.
So even if you're a newbie, have never done that before, you or someone on your staff would say, hey, let's take a look at how you're throwing and let us help you get to the point where you're getting it to stick.
Yes.
Okay, now, let's have you mentioned the kill shot. That's going for one of the 2 blue dots. Do you have to call which dot you're going for?
In a tournament, you have to rotate dots. So if you throw at the right dot the first time, the next time you call it again, you got to throw at the left dot. You get to pick which one you throw the first time, then you have to alternate.
Okay, so right now, first throw, you don't have to call the dot. You're just aiming for one of them. Do you personally have a preference between right or left?
I'm right-handed, so I tend to start with right.
Okay. Jim's, I'm going to back off here. There we go. So that did not stick. Now, if you said that was a kill shot and you went for that right one, the next one would have to be to the left.
Correct.
All right, go ahead and let's go for one for the left.
Be nice if some of these would stick, huh?
Yes. I'll give you one more chance to the right. And folks, I just want you to see that you can make it stick, but you can't always make it stick. But then again, we're going for the kill shot, so there's a little bit of pressure. There you go. All right, now. Good. You got it in an interesting spot. It is below the blue, so you get 0 for that.
You get 0, but hey, it's stuck.
No, it's stuck and it's close. And that is
that's a good attempt at a kill shot.
Right. I was going to say that's not a high percentage shot, is it?
It's not.
It's difficult.
That's why it's in tournament. Most of the time you use it if you get behind in scoring. It's a way for you to try to catch up, but the odds are low. But it's put in there if you get a little bit behind. Well, maybe if I hit a kill shot, I can catch back up and stay and not lose the turn,
So
lose the
can I
game.
say that's like a half-court shot in basketball?
There you go.
Except you're going to get 8 points instead of just 3.
Instead of like this would give you 6, this would give you 8. So if you're within 2 points of tying the game or going ahead at the end, you can call your kill shot to do that. If you're more than 6 points behind, say you were 7 points behind, you could go for the kill shot to win. Because if you hit the bullseye, you're still going to lose by 1.
Right.
So that it's put in there just to give you an opportunity at the end if you get a little bit behind.
Now, if you hadn't called the kill shot, but you hit the blue dot, it doesn't count for. I mean, it counts for what you got in the
1
circle.
point.
1 point. Okay, so you do have to call it. We were talking when I came in about the different packages. So you do it by the hour, but you said something that's really popular is what group.
Yeah, we do group events. You can rent 2 lanes
Okay.
for 2.5 hours, or you can rent all 4 lanes for 2.5 hours. So those have been real popular for companies to bring in their team, departments to bring in their team. And we do, we work on your schedule. So if you need the afternoon, late afternoon, weekends, just coordinate with us and we'll make the place available for you.
So you got team events. Your regular hours are what?
Typically, we work Wednesday through Sunday.
Okay.
We do Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday we open at 4, Saturday we open at 2, and Sunday we open at 4 for regular business. But like I said, if you have an event and you want hours other than those, we'll work with you on that.
All right, and your website is?
www.topthatacts.com.
Topthatacts.com. And if somebody wants to call, can they still call you?
They can.
And that number is?
919-533-6519.
All right, and here's your score sheet right here. We'll take a look at that. Actually, let's get this in the light a little bit because it is kind of dark back there. So you just going in ahead and...
So basically, you would have your name. There's your 10 throws that you record them. Like I
Okay.
said, everybody plays. So if you're playing in a tournament 2 against 2, you'd have the 2 team members here and the other 2 team members here. And then you just calculate your score as you go across, and then you do a team total. And then, you know, for competition. So we use it different ways, whether you're just playing against somebody that comes in, whether you're playing against the team, or you're playing a group competition.
Okay. The other thing, too, is I noticed when you come in, you have a refreshment area here. So you offer a choice of, and I'm going to put, there's your toed shoes.
Yes, we do have our beer and wine license, so we do offer craft beer, domestic beer, wine, seltzer, cider. We also have soda and water. You can bring in food, or you can have food delivered. We do ask that you purchase beverages from us. But we do have a lot of people, especially when people bring in their families, they'll order pizza and some wings and stuff like that and have it delivered. A lot of times the companies will have their food catered, so a catering company will come and set up for them when they get here. So we just, whatever you need, we'll work with you on it.
So you pretty much have you're very flexible. The only requirement is, hey, let's have you buy the beverages here. And I notice you have Carolina Brewery, so you're having stuff right across from the street.
Yeah, that's a very popular one. That so we do try to. I know that's. I like it myself. I'm a frequent customer over there, so it's good to have their brewery here.
All right, you're not supposed to drive, text while you're driving. Not supposed to drink while you drive. What's the rules on throwing axes and drinking?
I mean, you can drink and throw axes, but of course, like anything, if someone's intoxicated, we won't let them throw. Most people are, they'll drink 1 or 2 beverages while they're here, so we haven't had any problems with anybody being intoxicated.
All right. Is there anything else folks need to know?
We just love to see you, and we're indoors, so the weather's cold. We're here for you, and when it's really hot outside, it's air conditioned in here. So we are an indoor axe throwing facility. And
you mentioned you started this last April?
We opened up last April, yes.
And business has been good?
Business has been good, growing all the time, and the word of mouth, we're kind of hidden. We're located behind Lowe's and behind the Compadres Mexican restaurant patio. So a lot of people come in and like, hey, how long have you been here? And we're like, oh, we've been here since April. Like, we didn't know you were here. So we're doing everything we can to try to market ourselves and get people to know that we're here. But once people find that we're here, then we start to see the repeat business.
Good. Jim, thank you very much. I'm going to take a picture of the rules there, so we'll stick it on the back of the video. Folks, topthatacts.com, or that number again?
919-533-6519.
Do you recommend people make reservations, or what?
We do both. We have online reservations, so just go to our website, topthatacts.com, and you can go ahead and pay online if you want, or you can call, or you can stop by, and usually we take walk-ins, and they're available. We're happy to have you.
sounds like you make it easy to do business with. Thank you very much, Jim.
All right, thank you.